Howdy folks, welcome to Lou's House and another episode of Quick Gear Review. What we're looking at today, guys, is the Boss DD-200 digital delay. Now this has been out for a little while. I know there's a bunch of other reviews and demos on this out there, and I'm just going to go through my patches really quick and show you kind of how to use this. Now, I've just got my white Strat here, and there's my clean tone with no effects. Okay, now we're going to just throw on the DD. Now my first patch here is just, it's on manual. You'll see it's got a green light. I've got a dotted 8th note going here, and I've got, now what we have for knobs, folks, is this is the knob that controls what patch you're on. Now you've got just your standard digital delay, which is going to sound like most of the other Boss digital delays. Analog, tape, drum, shimmer, Terra echo, pad echo, pattern, lo-fi, dual, ducking, and reverb. Now I'm going to just go through my patches, which are some of my favorites that I found in here. This is replacing my TC Electronic Alter Ego vintage delay, and that was a great unit. Now there was some special sounds going on a couple of those patches on that, and the DD-200 here has a higher bit rate and sampling rate than that pedal did, but that still had a special mojo on a couple of the selections on that particular device. Overall, I do like this better. It's much more flexible, programmable. You've got more going on here, and as you dive into it a little bit, it's really easy to navigate. You've got your time, which is controlled by this knob, or your memory tap tempo here. You push and hold on that, and it goes into tap mode, and you can just tap it up, and then you can go into a menu and control pretty easily by pushing your memory and tap division at the same time. It goes into your parameters mode, and then you can control. The only thing I've messed with in here is carryover, which is basically your tails, and it'll carry over when you turn it off or change patches, which is nice. The TC Electronic did not have that option to carry over the sound when you changed your patches. So it did have your tails, but it would not carry over. It was a hard switch over. Also, you have your tempo hold, which will hold your tempo as you change your patches. So that's pretty cool. I mean, there's all kinds of other stuff in there. That's all I use in those sub-menus, because, and then you just push again and you can exit that. But you can change your parameter, push the button, the volume knob, I'm sorry, the time knob, and it'll change your parameter and save it, then exit by pushing that again. The owner's manual is very straightforward and to the point, and unless you're using some of the extra expression inputs, or you want to go in and change what the buttons do when you double tap or when you hold or when you push them both at the same time, you can go into those parameters and change all that stuff pretty easily. But if you're not using those expression outs, it's really easy to just, you know, use what you've got here as far as knobs, and it's super easy to save stuff. You just hit push and hold your memory, and it'll flash right, and you push and hold again, and it writes it. Now, what I've done, I changed the tempo on my manual. You can actually save, when it's on green, it's on manual, which is basically you can move around. Whatever your knobs are showing is pretty much what's going on. But you can also save that as a patch, and it will save your tempo and your tap division. So I've just got my basic digital delay right there. very little of the modulation, which is nice that you can control your modulation depth or have none. And in each different setting, this parameter knob controls a different parameter of that setting, whether it be the tape heads on a tape delay, which is going to replicate your space echo. So it's got 4 different heads, but different settings for those heads, which is very fun to play with. That's actually in the drum setting also, which is the Benson Echarec model. You can select your heads within the parameter. The shimmer, which is new to the Boss digital delay, my tongue is delaying digitally on that, is a nice patch, but it's kind of overpowering, but I have it set in a way where what I'm doing, I'm using my analog delay into the shimmer pad on this with no feedback and a very low level, very low parameter, so you're just getting a little of that shimmer underneath as you hold a chord. I'll show you when we get to that, how that works. But anyway, very easy to set up your memories. You can have different tap division. The tap division on this is very intricate, more so than most any other delay I've seen. This is kind of the brain of my pedal board. All my other effects are analog, okay? So if I want to keep, except for the Holy Grail on my turnip greens, that's digital, which I don't use that often, but occasionally I'll throw that in for an over-the-top sounding reverb. I do keep a little of my deluxe reverb going with that tube-driven spring reverb on a very low setting, just a little over 2. Anyway, let's get back. I'll run through these sounds really quick. I'm trying not to leave anything out, but I'm not going into a super deep, in-depth review of this. But that's the great thing about this, as opposed to like the Strymon or some other digital delays out there that you have to memory dive, or not memory dive, but menu dive. And I don't like having to do that. This is super easy once you get to know it, how to use. You've got your time, your feedback, your level, your select, your sound select, your delay select, so to speak, your parameter, which changes depending on your delay selected, your tone, which is nice right at the middle. It's at unity. You can either boost or cut those frequencies. You've got your depth knob for your modulation again. And super easy to save stuff. Super easy, you double tap or you press both of these at the same time. You go into loop mode, okay? You turn on your record. Hit it again, you're in dub mode. Okay, and then you hit that, and you're going to go, it turns off your loop when you hit the memory tap. Then you can just play it. Or you can hit this again to go back into dub. Hit it again to go back to play. And turn it off with your memory tap. Push and hold that, and it'll erase it. You can record up to a minute on the looper. It's a good looper. I think that I like these buttons better than the ones on the TC Electronic. They're more accurate as far as time goes when engaging the looper. It's like right away it works. It's really good. And it's a soft push. They're a different type of button than is on any of my other pedals or that I've ever experienced, actually. And I really, once you get to the feel of that, and I've got the little moor toppers, which are nice for barefoot playing, which I do a lot. But these are great little buttons, I think, on this Boss. And this is kind of the digital brain, and I can do a lot of stuff. So here, what I'm going to show you, I'm going to go back, okay, to my delay from the looper, and it holds that I had the memory tap going, that I have the tap tempo going, which you just push and hold to engage or disengage. All right. So, pretty basic. Okay, now what you can do, you can use your big toe on these also when you're playing barefoot, which is great. And when you're in tap mode, to change your preset, you have to hit this button. Or you can go out of tap mode, and then this will go back to your memory button. So when I'm playing barefoot and I've got my tap engaged, I will go here and just change my setting, my memory setting. Now this is a cool reverse. I was really getting into that reverse setting on my TC Electronic, and I'm like, oh, this one isn't as cool once I started playing with it a little. And then I'm like, oh, I decided to play with it again one day, and it's way cooler because the parameter knob, you can do some great stuff. I have this set up to just swell in on the delay. I've got it set to a quarter note. I'm sorry, to a half note for the tap division and a pretty long delay time. So I can get some cool, just swell, ambient, reverse style stuff going here. Next, I think I've got the analog. Okay, and I had a lot of the modulation on that patch. Okay, now what do we have next here, guys? We've got the drum, the tape. No, this is the drum. I think the last one was not analog, it was tape, and this is drum. With less modulation, if any. And quite a bit of feedback on that one. Okay, the next one is the shimmer. Okay, and the way I have that set up, I've already mentioned to you guys, so I'm going to throw on the analog delay and stack it into that. You can see I can kind of get some of these pads going here. Underneath. Alright folks, well that's my review on the Boss DD-200. It's a little lengthier than I hoped, but I hope you dug it. And get one of these bad boys. They are a fantastic pedal. I cannot recommend it highly enough as being a delay fan. For the price, you get so much computing and brain power and, you know, bits and hertz and all kinds of great stuff. So go with it, guys. It's a great pedal. Thanks again for watching. If you dug it, hit like and subscribe. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.